در کے تو گداگر بھی ابو ذر دیکھے اس کے رستے کے سبھی منور دیکھے تیری دربانی پہ نہ جائے زمانہ سارا تیری دربانی پہ نہ جائے زمانہ سارا تیرے در کے تو گداگر بھی ابو ذر دیکھے اس کے رستے سب آدم محمد
اللہم صلی علی محمد وعلی محمد.
ایک اور جا کے اس بات کا سارا دے نا.
اللہم صلی علی محمد وعلی محمد.
یا محمد یا محمد ایسی ذات آپ نے پائی کہ بس یا محمد ایسی ذات آپ نے پائی کہ بس کی شب اسرا خدا نے وہ پذیرائی کہ بس یا محمد یا محمد ایک پل میں مصطفیٰ کو عرش پہ بلوا لیا ایک پل میں مصطفیٰ کو عرش پہ بلوا لیا اپنے بندے کی خدا کو ایسی یاد آئی بس یا محمد یا محمد میں نے تپتی دھوپ میں جب چھیڑی نعت رسول تپتی دھوپ میں جب چھیڑ دی نعت رسول رحمتوں کی ہر طرف ایسی گھٹا چھائی بس یا محمد یا محمد گنتے گنتے تھک گئے گئی گنتے گنتے تھک گئی گنتے گنتے تھک گئی تاروں کی نازک انگلیاں گنتے گنتے تھک گئی تاروں کی نازک انگلیاں اس زمین پہ مصطفیٰ کے اتنے شیدائی کے پاس یا محمد یا محمد دیکھ ابھی وقت ہے دیکھ ابھی وقت ہے دامان احمد تھام لے ابھی وقت ہے دامان حیدر تھام لے ورنہ کل محشر میں ہوگی ایسی رسوائی کہ بس یا محمد یا محمد مشکلوں میں ہر گھڑی مشکلوں میں ہر گھڑی ناد علی سے کام لے مشکلوں میں ہر گھڑی ناد علی سے کام لے یہ دعا تو روز محشر اتنی کام آئی
نعرہ حیدری
مول لی خالق نے جنت مول لی خالق نے جنت کے بز میں روٹیاں مول لی خالق نے بز کے جنت مول لی خالق نے جنت کے عوض میں روٹیاں فاطمہ کے مال کی تھی اتنی مہنگائی کہ بس یا محمد یا محمد کاٹ کے مرحب کو جب پہنچی زمین تک ذوالفقار کاٹ کے مرحب کو جب پہنچی زمین پر ذوالفقار شے پر جبریل سے فوراً سائی کہ بس یا محمد یا محمد لاش سلمان نے لاش سلمان نے حیدر کو آتا دیکھ کر لاش سلمان نے حیدر کو آتا دیکھ کر موت کی آغوش میں لی ایسی انگڑائی یا محمد یا محمد ایک دن میں لکھنے بیٹھا ایک دن میں لکھنے بیٹھا تھا شب ہجرت
واہ
ایک دن میں لکھنے بیٹھا تھا شب ہجرت کا حال. کیا کہوں یارو مجھے کچھ ایسی نیند آئی کہ بس یا محمد یا محمد. ان فرشتوں نے ابھی ان فرشتوں نے ابھی پوچھا ہی کیا تھا اے سروج. ان فرشتوں نے ابھی پوچھا ہی کیا تھا اے سروج. دفتر میرے سرانے سے صدائی کہ
سبحان اللہ. بس بس جزاک اللہ احسن بھائی. مولا السلام علیکم. اللہ تعالیٰ آپ کو صحت دے.
بس بس
بس بس بس بس.
MashaAllah. Now I want to request Maulana please come to recite a lecture. Loud salawat.
اللهم صل على محمد. اور حبیب خدا ختم انبیاء آواز بلند سلوات. مولانا کی اور حسن صاحب کی صحت و سلامتی کے لیے ایک سلوات. حاضرین محفل کے سب کی صحت و کے سلامتی کے لیے ایک اور سلوات. اللہم صل علی محمد و آل محمد. ہمارے آپ کے اور مولانا کے سبھی مرحومین کی سلامتی کے لیے ایک اور سلوات. اللہم صل علی محمد. حبیب خدا انبیاء آواز بلند سلوات. اللہم صل علی محمد و آل محمد.
So inshallah we start reciting Fatiha for all the marhumin of the every participant who is participating here, whether it's in the food form or anyway, even if you're spraying the carpet, whatever thing you are doing here, inshallah may Allah give the sawab of that to your marhumin. Please recite a Surah Fatiha and with the loud salawat for each other who are contributing in this center. Allahumma salli ala أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على رسوله الكريم وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين من الآن إلى قيام يوم الدين رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. صلوات.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah to all the brothers and sisters who have came here and who are in the on the way here inshallah and watching us on YouTube. Hassan Bhai's nemesis YouTube. Inshallah. No, the YouTube is good. I know because today is a night where inshallah the Mu'min are thinking that they're gonna stay later here. That's why probably they're going to come a little bit later, which is good. But inshallah, in coming nights, we have the program coming. I mean, whoever is listening on YouTube or internet to us, we have du'as as well. And like we mentioned it before, that these are the days of du'as. So inshallah, if we can do du'as as much as we can, especially the du'as which are recommended, like dua iftitah and dua sahr, the ulama have wrote like sharh of this. Like for example, Imam Khomeini has wrote a really great explanation of dua sahr. And if you read that, translate this explanation, it gives you so many points which actually related to understanding our creation, understanding why we are created, what is our relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and knowing Assalamu alaikum. And knowing
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
and knowing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and yourself and your relationship with Allah. This is really important. Like this is the main thing we are trying to explore this month, right? Our relationship to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, our purpose of coming over here. What's our purpose? How are we different as a human being? Like, I mentioned before that this universe has been made according to the scientific research like 13 billion years ago, and we are just made like 20,000 years ago, let's say. So we're that important that many years before creation of Adam. So we need to know that if Allah Ta'ala has given us so much importance, what is that importance, right? So inshallah, so when we read this dua, and that's why the Urafa and ulama talk about these duas and explain these duas, because all these kind of like information is encrypted in the duas like this. Sometimes we just read those duas on the superficial way, which is okay, which is fine. That Allah, oh Allah, give me this, give me that. That's fine. Even if you see Sahifa Kamla, a lot of things, like for every occasion, if you get sick, if you see let's say the thunder and the rain, Imam has a dua for that. But there's a superficial aspect of the dua, just like Quran, and there are the deeper meanings of dua as well. So inshallah, we try to read these duas with the translation, with the explanation, if it's possible. Tonight is the night of duas. Tonight is the night of writing your own destiny with your own hands. Like I said before, tonight is the night qadr from the qaza of Allah, qaza ilahi. Are destined for you, you're gonna ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give me whatever He has destined for me on my choosing. How does it possible if it's destined by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? And how is it gonna be different by our asking Him? Is by our capacity, right? So for example, I give you an example. If the rain is coming down, it's pouring down, any anyone who is bringing the any kind of container inside the rain will get that kind of amount of rainwater, right? If you are bringing a smaller container, you're gonna get, like, let's say 1 liter of rain. You have a big container, like 100 liters of the container, and you put it outside while it's pouring down, you're gonna collect 100 liters of that rainwater. The baran ilahi, that's why the na'imat and the rahmat is known as baran ilahi, is known as like rain pouring down from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to this world. And tonight is the night, the Shab Qadr is the night where the rahmat ilahi, the na'mat ilahi are pouring down, and we are gonna go on the musalla, we are gonna go and talk to Allah with our containers there. If we have like a big container, this container is our soul, it's our capacity of accepting the blessings of Allah, then that much blessed we will be. This is the meaning of qadr. This is the meaning of the quantity. Qadr give the connotation of quantity. I'll get the enough, like I'll get the amount of blessings I'm gonna get will be related to the capacity I have. So let's say if I don't have enough capacity of encompassing, the bigger blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala today, I'll ask for increasing of my container, increasing of my capacity of getting Allah ta'ala's blessings. And this container of your ruh, this container of your nafs can get increase and increase as much as blessings you are gonna ask for. It's just like ilm. When you know something, the knowledge, when you know something, does it increase your brain's capacity or it decreases it? Everybody have experienced this, right? We went for the first grade to 10th grade and then college and everything. As we are passing our classes and we are going to a next level, our capacity of encompassing the ilm, encompassing the knowledge, taking the knowledge was increasing. The blessings are just like this. And these Som, this Salah, this Shab Qadr, this is the bahana. This is the the we have the time, specific time where we can increase our capacities. This is our salawat. So inshallah, keeping this in our mind, we're gonna start tonight's amal, and we'll have like the brother is gonna announce that we have short amal, and after that, we'll try to stay here as much as possible. Again, I'm not sick, but I look really horrible probably because I have everything inflamed here because of, mashallah, the pollens you have. There's a lot of pollination going on outside. We have pollen clouds out there, so maybe I'm sensitive to that, but inshallah I'll try my best to stay as long as possible, because if we do all these du'as, dua Joshan Kabir and all those things together, it has more blessings. I mean, going back in your homes and doing it in your seclusion has other blessings, but doing it collectively has blessings too. As a matter of fact, it's kind of like a small ijtihad, but just don't grab me here. Ijtihad in the way that some ulama said the same thing too, some students, that the big ulama who are living in Iran and Iraq, the last 10 days they become kind of secluded. They wouldn't even go to their families a lot. They would just spend their time mostly on the musalla and everything. But for us, we're in minority here, right? So sometimes when we go back home, we have a lot of distractions. I mean, to be honest, right? We have a lot of distractions. We have TV, we have YouTube, we have these things, we have this masala going on, this discussion going on, which is all good and great. Sometimes it's better to stay collectively and we can do more du'as and namaz. So I'm not saying that you have to stay here, but just think in this way. Again, and other thing which I have to mention, like really, I was thinking of mentioning it here because it's the night of Qadr. We shouldn't focus on the quantity. Like, okay, we have to do 100, 100 rakat namaz. We have to do it. Whether we are dying, we have to do it. If you want to do it, that's fine. But if you do like 17 rakat, if you do 20 rakat with the, khushu and khulu and concentration, that's worth more than anything else. And this is a recommendation for mustahabat as well, right? If the mustahabat are tiring us off, we should cut them down because our capacity is not like that. But the specific nights are there. I mean, we can get used to it. I mean, take advantage of it. One more thing which is gonna help us not to get tired so easily is to do this amal collectively. So if you do, inshallah, I'll try to do some qaza umri here. So in that way, we can do that with jamaat as well. So when we do the jamaat of qaza umri as much as we can, probably not 6 days, a few days, inshallah, it'll be good for us to connect to this night and connect to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Please recite another salawat. So to our story of Hazrat Ibrahim, we have reached to the point where the people of Babylon has decided, they have voted, and they have told their king that, okay, you know what, we have to get rid of this person. He has no, he's not, he's breaking our idols, and he's challenging our faith. And of course, we don't have any answer for the questions he's posing to us, but what we can do, we can just shut him up, right, by killing him. So what they did, they started lighting a fire, and they said like the passion of the Babylonians was so much so that they were like collecting money. That a person would specifically work for this nazar to like work and get money and buy wood or some other fuel for this fire. So this fire will become bigger and harder as much as they can make it harder. Even it said that the people who are leaving the inheritance to their children, they were saying that this specific amount of money should be going to this fire to make this fire more bigger so it can burn Ibrahim in a really like quick way and a really torturous way. Sometimes what point we can take from here, why did I mention this, brothers and sisters? Sometimes when you see the religious passions some other places, But you see that, oh man, this thing looks like so weird. Like, what the takfiris and this Daesh, when they were killing people left and right, everyone, not only Shias, not only Sunnis, Muslims, Shias, Christians, well, whoever they can take the hand of, they will kill them in a really brutal way. And with the thing of Allahu Akbar and Subhanallah and all those things. Why? Because when you have religion which has no connection with intellect, this kind of religion comes out. And it's just not I'm not just making a statement here. That's why I mentioned that the ravish, the way of Anbiya alayhi salam, the way Hazrat Ibrahim was talking to this mushrikeen was to tapping into their intellect. And intellectually, they were unable or they were weak to answer his logical questions. So the religious fanaticism comes out when there is no aql involved, when there is no intellect involved. After all these things, the Taliban and this Takfiri and those things, for a long time, the Muslims have been the target, that these are the people who have some groups which don't think and they just kill. They're fanatics. They say la ilaha illallah, otherwise I'm gonna kill you. But now we see the other religious fanaticism as well. As a matter of fact, if you link these two lines, that Islamic, I wouldn't say Islamic, but they said this, the Muslim fanaticism came from the same source. This religious fanaticism which is coming, that I am or we are the chosen people and we can kill people as much as we want. The Quran says that they think that Gentiles or those people who are not Bani Israel, we can take their money. Their money doesn't worth anything. So Allah Ta'ala says, well, who gave you these laws? These are man-made laws. For example, let's say if I am Muslim right now and I'm living in a Christian country, is it jais for me to take a Christian, my neighbor's money or his things? Intellectually, it's not possible. It's not right. It's zulm. It's oppression. And these people, they are not even saying, like I was listening to, and I shared it with my brother. It was a big discussion. I know it's a 3 hours discussion, but inshallah, if you get the chance, see this discussion. There's I wouldn't take the name because I don't know how sensitive these things are, but there's a doctor in California, he's Muslim, and he did a good tajziyah, good explanation about these, the doctrine of different religions, especially the Jewish religion and the other religions. So he had a really good discussion there, and he said that, I mean, amongst all these things, these people are not religious as such. Those who made this so-called country in the middle of other countries, they're not religious. The Zionists are actually atheists. So that was a really good thing to see into, that these people who made this Zionism and all these things, they were atheists. They didn't even believe in God. And he made a joke that he said, like, we're going to go to our promised land, which is promised by a God, which we don't believe in. So they don't believe in God, but they believe in the promised land, which is promised by that God, which they don't believe in. That's what happens. That's what happens when there's a dichotomy, when there's a breach between the aql and deen. This is really important, brothers and sisters. When there's a division between intellect and religion, if anybody is giving you any religion which is not coming to your intellect, be aware of it. Whether he's a Muslim, whether he's a Christian, whether he's a Jew. We have seen that, right? We have seen these people who are saying Allahu Akbar and cutting people's head. Why? Because they had no logic. Just like this Namrud, just like these people who are in Babylon, they had no logic. The only answer they had was to brutally kill anyone who is challenging them. But when I make this statement, I have to talk a little bit about intellect. Please recite salawat. not going into details of what intellect is, I had kind of like a complaint yesterday that nobody, people were not able to listen to me. If you cannot listen to me, please let me know, because I think I am loud. Oh, it's okay. Yeah, I mean, I have to like shout like really desi Maulana, so everybody has to listen. Please recite a salawat. You do dua that I'll become like a desi Maulana like this. And do the majalis like this. Please recite a salawat. When I say desi, I'm by myself desi, right? I'm not saying that I'm American. Please don't get offended by this. A person can criticize himself, right? Or his own culture, right? Please recite another salawat. So, not to go into deep discussion of intellect, but just a superficial thing, I just want to make a point here. Sometimes we don't understand what intellectualism or intellect is by itself. What is aql and aqli system is, we don't know that either sometimes. We have to learn that as well. Aql is not everything which I can understand. Meaning, if I don't understand one thing, I wouldn't say that it is anti-intellect or it is not intellectual thing. Because maybe my intellect is limited, not maybe, definitely my intellect is limited. So I have to get and derive the intellectual principles from somewhere else. For us, for religious people and religion, it is from wahi, from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Wahi is a thing which supersedes human intellect. But let's say there's an atheist who doesn't believe in wahi. He doesn't believe in the connection and the ruh and the spiritual connection between human being and the divine world. How am I gonna talk to him? Is there any principle for that, or we have the only individualistic principles which are just subjective? No, we have objective principles. And that's what I was talking about yesterday, that the critical thinking and the process of critical thinking is based on those intellectual principles, right? These logical principles, like the premises, right? Like I'll give you an example. You probably have learned in the school, definitely. There's a really small example that we get like two premises and then we get the conclusion from those premises. And this process is done in our brain and it's done in everybody's brain. That's why this principle becomes kind of a universal principle. So let's say the one premise is, the major premise is that man is mortal, and the minor premise is Socrates is a man. So the result is Socrates is mortal, right? So one thing is that man is mortal. That's a principle, or the major premise. And then we have the Socrates is a man. And when every man is mortal, then Socrates is a man. He will be mortal too. So this kind of thinking is deductive thinking, which is common in every human brain. So the principles which are derived by this kind of thinking should be our principles on which we talk to other people, right? If it's become really difficult, I know that you don't like this joke, but if it became really difficult, please just add salawat. But if you got some of the point I was trying to make, please just add another bigger salawat. So our problem of talking to other people is this, that a person whom I'm talking to, if he doesn't believe in Allah, he doesn't believe in anything, he thinks that, Baba, you are made from flesh and blood, you're gonna go back to the sand and the soil, and the insects are gonna eat you, and then you will be disintegrated into organic and inorganic particles, and these particles are gonna go to the plants, and the plants are gonna be eaten by herbivores and then carnivores, and there's their life cycle, right? A small lesson from Lion King, rahmatullah alayh. This is salawat. The circle of life, right? We think that, okay, this is a circle of life. You are the part of it. We were born here like this, we'll just die. They're absolutely right. But you know what they're focusing on? It's just your body parts. It's just the nitrogen and hydrogen and carbon you have in your body, which is making the nitrogen cycle and the carbon cycle and all those cycles in the material world. But human beings are not, the reality of the human is not this. We are ruh, we are spiritual beings. The people, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asked angels to prostrate in front of Adam because he had the essence of Allah, the ruh of Allah. We are not gonna stop. We have been born. We have to go further and further and further. Just like Mi'raj al-Nabi, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
The Mi'raj, when he was elevated to the sky, is this. That's why the namaz and salat is Mi'raj al-Moment. When you read namaz, the status you have from Takbiratul Ihram to the status you do the tashahud should be changed. It become really difficult right now, inshallah, with the help of Allah. Because we have distractions, we have shaitan, we cannot focus, we cannot have the good niyyah. Sometimes we are just doing Allah Akbar really deeper because there are so many people behind us. And we're saying that when we're reading namaz like this, we say Allah Akbar like this. Because we are the people who can get distracted easily. That's why we have to have our focus there. But the rule and the principle is this: the one namaz shouldn't be different. The second namaz should be different than the first namaz. My Monday, which today was Monday, Tuesday, right? Tuesday. So Tuesday I spend the Wednesday should be better than the Tuesday I spent today. This is from the riwayat. It means that I'm gonna I have to see this. Sometimes it's not visible, but I have to see all in all that I'm going forward as a human being. So I don't know what we were talking about. I think we were talking about the intellectualism and proving something to those people who are believers. So proving something who are believers is kind of easy because they know that human beings are made up of the material body and the soul. And the soul has to be connected to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and everything. And it has to elevate. And we have the hayat ba'dul maut, like we have to be living after our body is gonna die. As a matter of fact, in Urdu, there's a really good word about this. When we die, in Urdu they call it intiqal. Intiqal means the transfer. Human beings are just transferring from this world to a different world. It's just like the way we are born. We're transferred from the womb of our mothers to a different place. The death for us is like this. That's why mu'mineen are not afraid of death. That's why Quran says that they are not afraid of death. Na'uzubillah, not because they are suicidal. This is what people said, right? The Muslimin, when Quran says they are not afraid of death because they're suicidal, they have no money, no nothing, they have no life, they just wanna blow themselves up and commit a suicide. No, unfortunately, that's why the intellectualism, that's why the ilm is really important, brothers and sisters. If we don't wake up in this time and era, then we wouldn't have anything to pass on to our next generation. Anything. And all in all, when we talk back in Hausa, there's a downfall of intellectualism across the board. Not only Western countries, not Eastern countries, across the board. People are becoming lazier. People are just becoming, I don't have to even get off my bed to work or order something or buy something. I have Amazon Prime, I have Amazon whatever. You know what, the 2-hour one is still working? Express or something? Amazon, I forgot about that they deliver you things in few hours or something. So I have all these things. I have smart gadgets, but please pardon my language, dumb people. You don't have to make people smart people to use these smart apps. I give you my personal experience. When my first born child, she was like 5 years old, and I had at that time I got the iPhone, the first iPhone one. So it was a first time the touch screen and everything, and I was so proud of her that she's being like 6 years old. She can go to the apps, she can scroll up and down, she can open the app, she can she wants to use. And I was proud of her. I said, "Wow!" But you know what? They made these gadgets that are 6 years old can use. So if I'm indulged in these gadgets, not again, you'll say, Baba, Maulana, you have an iPad in your hand. It's not haram. I'm not saying that. Just to open up our minds. But if I'm proud of this, that I have the best gadgets in the world, and I have a car which I clap and it's gonna come to me. In the old movies, they used to whistle and the horse used to come. Probably now the Tesla is gonna be like this. You just clap and Tesla is gonna come to you. This is not the elevation of humanity. We cannot gauge our elevation. We cannot gauge that the humanity is growing with that. Yeah, the material is growing. The one part of human intelligence is growing, that they're making programs and the gadgets and the things and the machines and stuff like that. But all in all, people have no. I mean, they said to me, the other students told me, I used to think that the people have like half an hour attention span. They said, no, but Morana, they have like 15 minutes attention span. We're regressing. We're not progressing here. If I cannot sit in a boring majlis like my majlis right now for half an hour, that's regression. I'm sorry to say. Always boring. But I mean, I need to have attention there. I'm not talking about you, brothers, mashallah, because you are from my generation. We were intelligent. I hope, inshallah. Please, inshallah. Right, just giving this example means like if we are losing it, at least we need to know that we are losing it. If when we know, there's a Urdu share, but I shouldn't do the Urdu share because I have to translate. I will know how to translate it. But it's like हाय हाय नाकामी मताए कारवां जाता रहा कारवां के दिल से एहसास ज़िया जाता रहा. Like not only that we are losing, but we don't even know that we are losing. This is the explanation of this share. This is called jahle murakkab. Jahle murakkab or compound jahl. Like if I don't know anything and I don't know that I don't know anything, that what does it mean? That I think that I know everything, right? So inshallah, with all these discussions and with the discussions of why are we bringing this Hazrat Ibrahim's discussion and Ambiya's discussion here, so we can get out of this small box which has been created for us, that I have to work and make more money and buy more things, so I'll be in more debt, so I'll work more. This vicious circle has to be broken. Has to be broken. We don't have to have the biggest gadgets in the world. We don't have to. The world's, I was just, well, you say the Maulana said this and then he watches YouTube at night. Yeah, sometimes I do. Well, I do actually. And they, especially the YouTube shorts, they actually grab you. In that YouTube short, they were talking about this, Trump's palace in, what's the name of that? Lago or something? This is, huh? Mar-a-Lago. So they were saying that how big it is and how much it's. I was just, after watching this, please, we just commemorated Imam Ali, right? Imam Ali Shahada. Imam Ali tried to show us how worthless this dunya is. Well, we didn't get this idea from him because he was Imam Ali and we are here. But when I saw that, I said, let's say this is the best palace with all the things you can imagine, and it's given to a person, you know what kind of a person he is. Right here, Allah Ta'ala is telling me, Baba, this dunya worth nothing. Because I give billions of dollars to a person who has not 2 cents of intellect. these examples, when they come in front of us, we should take the advantage of it. Why Imam Ali was like this? It doesn't mean that we don't have to, again, please don't get me wrong here. We have to work, we have to make ourselves financially strong, we have to make ourselves physically strong. But we shouldn't stop there. This dunya, these billions of dollars, it makes no, it's not, it's worth nothing. I hope this is a fake azan because the azan time is 8 to 9, right? But inshallah, with this thing, I'm gonna wrap it up. I had to do a lot of things and I have to say a lot of things, but you can see that I just close it and I just go on my own thing. Because unfortunately, sometimes when we read these stories of Anbiya alayhi salam, we think that they are not related to us. No, they are related to us. The moral of the story here today was this, that the Iman, the Islam of Hazrat Ibrahim was logical based in the intellect of human being. If my Islam, any kind of Islam, even Shia Islam, even the 12 Imamers Islam, if it's not based on intellectualism and the intellect, the real aql, then we cannot even preserve it when we are actually not following it. We are just following it because our parents has asked us to follow that. With a dua that inshallah may Allah give us tawfiq to increase our capacity of getting all of his blessings tonight, and in the long run inshallah increase our brain capacity and our soul capacity. With Allah salawat, inshallah I'm gonna take your leave. Allahumma